Grand Rising, everyone. It's Shay Seeking, and I'm back with another video. So, I'm noticing a couple things. A couple petty things. So, I know this got something to do with somebody with that last name or somebody that's just petty as fuck. That want to be seen as something that they not. So, I don't know if somebody's trying to let me know what they've done. I was just watching this little clip with Kamala Harris, right? And it was talking about something about the lead in the water and stuff, right? The water pipes the lead ones being taken out or whatever, right? But when she was doing that speech, she called somebody Deanna. You know, that's the name that they use that's the name that somebody uses that my daughter used to use for DoorDash, right? Okay? And I don't know what I'm feeling like. I told y'all it seemed like, you know, there's a big change in my daughter, right? I keep hearing, so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. This whole thing, though, about this lead energy. So ever since then, I've noticed, I had to think back. This daughter don't say little things like she used to say, right? It was a clip that came on yesterday where somebody's giving like a little tiny bouquet of flowers, right? And I was going through my cabinet today because I was looking for some pictures that was missing that I had, right? Some stores told me, go look for them pictures, right? And I opened up the cabinet. It was a little tiny bouquet of flowers that my daughter made for me one time. And it was just like the ones that this person used in this clip that I watched yesterday and on Instagram. And when I was looking for these pictures, I realized, okay, when I've seen that, I realized that my daughter don't give me, you know, like, she don't say little things that shock me no more. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they picked up on her gifts or something and cloned her, you know what I'm saying, and left the clone and took the original daughter, and they holding her hostage. It's almost like an eye for an eye. You remember when the woman figured out that, you know, the delivery man came to the door, kidnapped and raped her daughter? Okay? And, you know, my daughter was door dashing all the time, and then all of a sudden she didn't want to door dash no more, right? So, I was just thinking, an eye for an eye energy, and how Kamala said something about, yeah, they're coming for your children, but is they you? You know what I'm saying? And then again, like I said, it's harder for some of us to cope with it because you're not really realizing, because the person is still there. Just like my spouse is still there. You know what I'm saying? And this could be gaslighting for them to get me to talk about something to make it seem like I have bipolar. There's nothing wrong with me. That's the thing about these people that need to stay in their place. Just because they have higher up jobs and things like this don't mean that they higher than God or the Most High. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like they can maybe move minors. Like if your minor is saying something about questioning their sexuality, that's why we have to be careful with this shit. Then that gives them the right over your child to come in and take your child and change them and do whatever they want to do. But this might just be something that's provoked these children to think like this because these people are programming them to say this. And this gives them something to be able to remove the child without kidnapping the child, right? But I said, everybody else, it seemed like they were able to come and take these people or lead them somewhere, and they got the message and they went there and transformed their life or something. What's wrong with me? I could see that they did this shit with it. I know everybody, you know what I'm saying, didn't just wake up one day and go to a location and then go meet their ending or their new life or their rebirth. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck it seem like I'm the only one still sitting here with all this energy, all these visions and all of this information? So I noticed that my incense, my tarot incense, okay, were missing the other day. I asked Taurus, where did they go? All right. I noticed then today that this picture, I had a picture of a woman, and I had an old little thing from the 80s or whatever. And it had like 20 pictures in it or something. One of those little books, a little leather book. And I was looking at it because something kept making me think about this lady named Judy that my mom used to know. And then it made me think about her old friends. And then this lady named Elaine that used to be a friend of my dad's girlfriend. It just started making me think about these friends and stuff. Or like these friends, like Betty, that used to come around my grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? It made me think about these people. And I kept looking at that picture because it's a picture of a Caucasian man that looked just like Donald Trump and a lady, a very beautiful lady. Okay? Like a medium skin tone lady. Okay? Like a brown skinned lady or whatever, right? And I always wonder who was these people in this picture. So I went back on top of the refrigerator. I slid the pictures on top of I took the book out. I threw the book out. And I took the pictures and I slid them in this underneath the cabinet on top of the refrigerator, right? So I go get the pictures. I'm like, oh, there they go. And why is that the only picture that's missing? It's like, and I heard something about erased or something. Or wipe clean or something like this. So somebody might be trying to wipe clean memories, remove pictures or something like that. I don't know what the fuck these people is doing. But it all leads back to the point of this morning when I was taking my daughter to school. Now I'm hoping, I haven't been able to get in contact with her yet, but when she was leaving for school, she called me and she said, I forgot my phone. I think it's on that table, when you go in the door, right? So I'm like, she's like, or is it in the car? No, it's on that table. So I called it and everything while I was in the car. I couldn't find it. I went in the house. I called. I looked for about 30 minutes for the phone. I looked on the table. It's not there. Whoop-de-woo. And then this song comes on, this triumph. We are getting stronger. We're not scared. So these are these people that work behind the scenes, these demons or angels in the outfield, right? So, like I said, I don't know if this is gaslighting or whatever. I could come. I'm picking up my daughter. I could come and she might have the phone. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, so that's the difference between gaslighting or them getting me to respond or trigger me with something, right? And then it actually being there. So I checked online to see where the phone was, and the phone is all the way on the other side of town. But this thing can be a little bit off. Now, I don't know if this is working with the phone company. So when I do this search on the phones, you know what I'm saying? It's something off, right? Because at the same time, when I found out about the phone, she said, hurry up and bring it back. And I said, well, I don't know if I'm going to bring it back or not. Maybe you'll just have to go without it today. But then I kept thinking, this is the energy. When I went to go get my coffee and stuff, somebody said, stay there. A song came on talking about stay there. And I'm like, what? Okay. I didn't know if it was this address that came up that was an old address of mine that looks like Taurus phone was at this morning. I didn't know if it was at the place that I was at. I don't know if it was at home in this town or something like this, right? Okay. Or it's just a song that just came on, right? But it's something about, I said, what if this was an opportunity, if I'm in danger and this was an opportunity for me to leave? Or what if this was something, and it just so happens that my daughter doesn't have her phone? Because I keep hearing she's coming with me. She's coming with me. So it's funny that within the hour that video came on with Kamala talking about, thanks, Deanna. This is for your mother and people that stand for these rights and stuff. But the whole thing about the lead in the water is to remove the chattel from the water. Now, again, that must mean that either the chattel or the people under the stairs or just the regular everyday people, the commoner, peasants, and servants or something, are coming after me as a lion, right? Or coming at me, but I feel like it also has something to do with the Taurus or the bull energy, right? Something about 77 and 79. Yeah. Or was this the perfect opportunity for me to end up missing if I did listen to that? If I was desperate for answers or something and I listened to that. And then again, the daughter is here without a phone. Or what does that really mean? What really happened here? It's something weird is going on. Now, she may have this phone when I pick her up, but I don't know. She may not. I don't know what happened to the phone. I just feel like there's some strange shit going on here. So I'm leaving the house, and I don't know. My spidey senses tingled when a black man in a black Jeep rolled past my car. And I'm like, well, we got neighborhood watch, and I'm really vigilant in my neighborhood. So I'm like, dang, who is this person? I don't know. Something alerted me to his energy, right? And so when he go down one street, and this a weird neighbor, the direction he came from, it would have been smarter for him just to stay on that main road and go out to this road that he was going to. It's a straight shot. To turn down the neighborhood the way he turned down the neighborhood, it wouldn't make no sense to just for somebody that's on that road to turn off into this neighborhood instead of going straight down to the light and turning and ending up on that street. So I turn around and I start chasing this person. And then they pull off and go on the street that I just said. It wouldn't make no sense for you if you wasn't stopping in that neighborhood. It wouldn't make no sense for you to come into that neighborhood. It would be a hassle. You would be going against the grain. Do you get what I'm saying? So if he would have stayed on the street he was on, that's the only street he could have came off of if he came down the way he came. All right, because my phone just went out. Okay.